Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on FlossTube, but also on Instagram and Etsy as well. Welcome to the Sunday morning briefing. This is 106 episode number and it is the 26th of February according to my book of days. I have just had to check. It is actually Sunday morning for me. We were out late last night with some friends as part of Ness's birthday. We went to Ninja Warrior in Swansea. I didn't Ninja Warrior. I observed. But yeah, we didn't get back till late, so I didn't get to film last night. So it is Sunday morning for me. In fact, it's almost Sunday lunchtime. So you'll be seeing this later on this afternoon if it uploads nice and quickly. It's been half term this week, so it's been a busy week in terms of life and just general stuff. Not so much stitching, although I have done a reasonable amount, I think, in the time frame allowed. I did a lot of charting at the beginning of the week because Ness was at a music sort of thing for 3 days in the week, at the beginning of the week, which she absolutely loved. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And we did a lot of tidying up because you know it's like when people come to stay, you kind of get a bit more picky about them being able to sort of sleep in a bedroom. I had to do a lot of work in this room. Thursday was Ness's birthday. We went to a Nerf gun battle. And then we went to a National Trust property. The National Trust property was far calmer than the Nerf battle. We were sat sort of observing, drinking tea, you know, how it goes. And I got my chin grazed by a Nerf bullet. And then the final session was parents against kids. And there was probably 50 kids and probably 30 parents. Oh my God, they are vicious. They are vicious. The official rule was no headshots, but that didn't happen. Everybody had safety glasses on, thankfully. Otherwise, we could have had a few people walking out of there like that. But yeah, they are vicious. And then, as I say, we went to Ninja Warrior and went crabbing and also all sorts of things with our friends who'd come to stay with us. Anyway, I digress massively. So let's have a look and see what I have been up to. So like I said, the beginning of the week, I did quite a bit of charting. I'll just show you what I've charted. I've charted the sampler that I'm going to be working on with Roxy Floss Co. And I have also, as I enjoyed the charting process so much, charted this beauty as well, ready for stitching. She's absolutely fabulous. This is Jessie K. Now I've been calling her Jessie K Milton, but I think Milton may be the place. I'm not quite tied her down yet exactly, but I think I've got her with the initials, so we shall see. But it's a beautiful, beautiful sampler, Scottish in origin, obviously. So I've charted that for a future release. So what else have I done this week? This is my, where are we? Book of days, as it is. So the pink is a new start, the green is a finish. You can see I've started more things than I finished this month again, which is not always a good idea. So let's have a look and see. I did get one finish this week, and this was my Spring Bouquet Bear Canoe by Mill Hill, and so cute, so cute. There we go. There he is. As always with Mill Hill, I very rarely manage to stitch a Mill Hill where I put all the colours in exactly the right places, even though they are so small. Do always make a mistake somewhere along the line with colour. But there we go, you can just about see how super sparkly he is. So I finished that. I did a little bit of work on this, which is the Brenda Gervais Noel sampler. I'm really dragging this out. To be fair, I am waiting for one more thread. I ordered some more of the very palest thread, which I thought was 612, but it wasn't, it's 613. But I have placed an order with Create Nostalgia this weekend, so I did remember finally to add it to my order. So I will get the conversion out to those people who've asked for it as soon as I've finished it. It should be pretty straightforward. But she's looking fab. I had wanted to finish her by the end of January, but these things take time. So I did a little bit of work on her, And I also did a little bit of work on my trying to get the bag open. Prairie Schooler Weatherwise. I'm doing this top one here, which is Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight, Red Sky in the Morning, Sailor Take Warning. And I'm stitching it on a piece of fabric by Crafty Kate, and as always there's things wrapped up in it. Now I have just paused on this just a little bit, just because I know we don't mess around with Prairie Schooler colours, but that red sky is an orange, which means that the big house in the bottom corner here is also going to be an orange. And I don't know if I want it to be a red. I think I might want it to be a red. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stitch in, the thing that will make me decide is this colour here, this kind of peachy orange here. So I'm going to put some of that in and see how that sits on the fabric, and then I'll decide whether I want to take this out and make it slightly redder rather than orange. I think it's the MC 400, so it's kind of a browny orange at the moment, but it's the perfect piece of fabric for it. Now I have realised I have had month in February's fabric from Crafty Kate as well, and I forgot to pick it up, so I'll show it to you next week. It's beautiful. And then I had another little start. Now I'd seen these advertised. Let me just get the other one out. I saw the first one come up and I thought, oh, I really like that. And then I thought I'll wait and see what happens. Now these are by Fairy Wool in the Wood on Etsy. And this is a mug series. You have to excuse me, I've already folded my fabric up because I've got it in this little pouch. And then she released the February one as well. Now I've purchased these on Etsy as PDFs. She does do a chart pack which has got the little charms in it, I think. It's also got stickers and everything. And I messaged her about the chart pack, and she's out of Italy, and the cost to ship them to the UK is just too much. But it's a fabulous little pack of stickers and the chart and everything, and it's really reasonable except for the postage to the UK. So if you go on to Etsy, you like these, have a look, find out how much, drop her a message, find out how much the postage would be to where you are if you're interested in getting these. I don't know, maybe she could do like every 3 months shipment or something, I don't know. But I was never going to do mine on little pillows. I wanted to do mine on perforated paper. So this is where I've got to, not terribly far. And in fact, both of those hearts are one closer to the middle than they should be. So I'm going to have to move both of those hearts back out, but I didn't have the heart to do it before I filmed. So that's as far as I've got, and I'm going to make them into little hangers. This is just a piece of perforated paper that I pinched out of one of my Mill Hill kits because I suddenly realised I didn't have any of this sort of natural, the brown. I'll buy some more of that. And I'm going to turn them into little hangers with a little beaded hanging. Now I am also not using the Cool colours. I'm using the Cool Colour Way, but I have done a conversion to sulky. So this is 14 count perforated paper. So I'm using 2 strands of sulky, and the coverage is really, really nice. So I usually use 2 strands of DMC on 14 count perforated paper, but I thought I'd see what 2 strands of sulky looks like, and it looks good. They do recommend a lot of perforated paper. For example, the Mill Hill kits will say 3 strands, but I generally only use 2 of DMC, but I do like 2 of sulky. So I'll put the details for those down below because they are fab, and the March one's obviously going to be released pretty soon. And that is all she wrote for the stitching this week. I have got a freebie. Now, it's a little bit of an untimely freebie, I will admit, but I know a lot of people are doing like the Ornament a Month challenge, and so it might come in handy. It's by Crocette GoGo, and it was their little robin in a sort of a hanging swing. I'll try and put a picture up of it stitched, or the mock-up picture of it, because it's such a lovely little stitch, and I really like the little rose hips around the border. So that was fab. In case you haven't realised, this isn't really going to be a very long video today, because I've got to try and upload it during the day, which is going to be fun. Okay, I've got a little bit of haul and some plans. So let's do the plans first of all. The first plan is not in there. The first plan is in here. It will be St David's Day in the week. So Wednesday is St David's Day, and I want to start the Parry sampler on Wednesday, on St David's Day. I'm convinced she is a Welsh sampler, although 1884 Stitchery McKenna doesn't provide any details of where Anne Parry might be from. I'm convinced she's Welsh. So that is the one I'm going to start. And we do have Parrys in my maternal grandmother's side. So I should be starting that. I've got it all kitted up, ready to go. Those are the colours. And I am going to be stitching her on Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track. Let's try and give you a side that's not creased as anything. Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track. That is, I believe, going to be a market release. It was one of the fabrics of the month. I believe it's going to be a market release. Talking of fabric of the month, I have had the notification to say that our shipment has cleared customs. And sometimes they arrive on that same day, but that was yesterday, Saturday, and it didn't arrive. So I'm hoping Monday or Tuesday next week we will have the Fox and Rabbit shipment, and I can post it out to you. I've got a little bit of haul. I'll show you my little bit of haul and a little bit of Stitchy kindness. I wanted to grab this one for ages, which is Bowerbirds. So I bought this on Stash and Load from Vivian, whose husband is Trevor, who makes the boxes. I'll put the information down for those again. So it's the boxes that go for Tannenbaum. I'm just going to see if I can reach my bill. I don't think I can. And she also included for me this little sort of platter board or horn book that her husband had made her one, so she had a spare one, so she sent me that. So I need to find a little stitch to go on that. Thank you so much, Vivian, that was lovely. I also picked up this book, Elizabethan Cross Stitch. It is one of those sort of books that you can buy for like £1 on Amazon, and then you pay £2 something shipping, so it wasn't expensive. But it's got some really, really nice pieces in it. Pieces that I think would, with a little bit of a colour update and some slightly more interesting fabric, be really, really nice. So let me just pick out the ones that I had thought. I like the band sampler. I like, where are we? I like that little design on there. Wouldn't necessarily do it on the blue fabric, but I like that design. It'd be nice as the top of like a needle book or something like that. I think it's actually, yeah, it is actually the top portion of the band sampler. They've just shown it in a different way. I really liked these cushions, but I wouldn't do all the fluff around the outside. I just like the hearts. I really like those. I think they must have stitched them on something, on big fabric, probably even tapestry. Yeah, I think it's been done in tapestry wool. But they're so nice. Let me just give you a close-up without showing you the pattern. The bluebells, the sort of marigolds, acorns, And my favourite one is the Christmas one with the holly. First on those. These are nice, and there's some interesting motifs in there, but again, would need a bit of a fabric update, I think, with those. There's this, which I kind of like, but I also really like elements from it as well. So I don't know if I'd stitch the whole thing, but I do like the deer and the peacock and the squirrel. So definitely elements to pull out from that. And then these three little bags I also really like, but again, not necessarily in those colours. And then they've got a couple of little, pin cushions. The rose one I like. And then at the back, I'll just give you a quick, they have got some motif libraries, which are really, really fun. So for the sake of, I think it was about £3.50 including postage, there's some great things in there, really great things in there. And then my last bit was a shipment from the Patchwork Rabbit, who are just about to embark on a trip to Nashville. What did I get? I got some size 26 needles. I think I mainly got those because they were, I was trying to get to free postage. It was a good thing to do. Now they had a sale, they had a flash 48-hour sale, I think, because it was Carla's birthday. So I took advantage of the flash 48-hour sale and just picked up some things that that I want to do. So I got Bottle Brush Tree Farm. I've always liked that one by Hands On Design. And I got Resting Witch Face because I've always liked that one by Hands On Design as well. And then, in preparation to stitch, I really want to stitch Casting a Spell by Blackbird Design. Their fabric is 30 count to fit in the box. So I picked up some 30 count Mariner's Map. Now, that's not the right colour. I think it was Weeks Dye Works Grey, maybe, was what they use. But I just wanted the right count, and then I'll dye it to whatever colour I think. And then I must have had a fit of pique when I ordered this. I have always wanted to do it, but it's so massive. It's this one and a Forest Grew. Always wanted to do it, but I've never quite pulled the trigger on it. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll get the chart, because the chart was in the sale, and then it means that I've got it ready to go. But that's what's scary. The DMC list for it is absolutely massive. But then you don't have to do it all in one go, do you? So I did pick up that. I also picked it up because there are some really nice elements in it. And I did think that maybe I might stitch some of the elements from it and some of the smalls as well. And because it was in the sale, it's never going to be a better price. And that's it. That's it from me today. Next week, normal service will be resumed. I won't have been flitting around Wales during the week and having a lovely high old time in half term. Hope you've had a lovely week, and I hope that you have a lovely week to come, and I will see you soon. Stay classy, Stitchers.